I'm giving somebody the blues today.
I don't know what it is about these last couple of months of Tekken, but there has been beef everywhere. The biggest of all of the beefs was Arslan versus Knee, but there is so many other beefs that's going on, and in this video I want to talk about one that is at its breaking point and one that has a lot of money on the line. Joe Crush is going up against another player by the name of Droopy. Now I will say this at the start, you guys know I'm a big fan of Joe Crush. He's one of the players I like to root for a lot, but I will not let my bias impact the telling of the events that's happened. This will be unbiased. So where this starts, at least on Twitter, right? Because I don't know how far back their beef goes, you know, whether it extends to a tournament, I don't know. But I just see this clip from Joe Crush, which is kind of the start of it all on Twitter. And it says, super hard Kazuya Mog. So there's no commentary on this, but as you can see, Joe Crush's Kazuya is, you know, counter hit, getting aggressive, doing a combo. It seems like it's a 8-win streak versus 2-win streak. So this has to be the first game that they played because they're both on win streaks. That's all that we see in this clip. But then Droopy responds to it and says, all that just to lose 3-0. This guy will sit on this game, have 5,000 plus hours, catch me when I'm experiencing with different arcade sticks, cherry pick sets, shake my head. If y'all seen our match and how he was playing, this is like the same match from the looks of it, right? This is just the Droopy's perspective, and you can see that he is up 2 rounds, and that's the final one, and he wins. Key charge. He's laughing. So it seems like Joe Crush posted the beginning of the match where he was winning, and then Droopy has the end here saying 3-0. Yeah, so this is the one game that they played, and I'm assuming they won it done after. But this is the thing about God ranks. For those of you guys who don't know, when you're at the God 1, God 2 ranks, those ranks, you get matched up with the same people, and since there's not that many God 1, God 2, God 3 players, you often get matched up with the same person over and over and over and over again, and this is kind of a death set of sorts, but you just keep going back to the menu and searching for the next person, and then you find the guy again and you rematch, right? If you guys watch Joe Budden streams or any pro stream, you're probably familiar with how God players get matched up. So this is when Joe Crush responds. It says, keep that finger slipping. Week 3, God 2, and your hard stuck God 1 on your main. Also, I bet he won't rematch, and you immediately want it done. Are these guys clipping each other live while it's happening? Joe Crush clipped the first round, he clips the end, Joe Crush clips the next game. Like, this is crazy. Let's watch this one. Wait, and this is Joe Crush clipping it from his perspective, right? So this isn't Joe Crush stream, this is Droopy stream. So Joe Crush is up 2 rounds. You can see that Droopy is on a 3-win streak. You have
holy shit! Why did he do that?
On the wall. Punish, okay. Hell sweep. And 1-1-2.
Ah!
That was a nice round. It came right down to the wire, bro. Both of them was playing as safe as possible. Then he does the down 4 to finish it off.
Ah! My fucking finger slipped.
Joe Crush starts hitting him with the key charges, right?
My finger slipped. I doubt he'll give me a...
So Droopy says, I doubt he'll give me a rematch. That's what he was going to say. He didn't say the rematch part, but then he said, and then he won it done. Now Droopy has responded to him saying, you 1,000 games in 5,000 plus hours, marriage ruining, energy drinking, jobless for 2 years. You really put in 1,000 games in 3 to 4 weeks. It took me 7 to 8 months to hit 2K. I'm God 2 with 1,500 hours on this game, 2 jobs and classes, not competing with a no life. So you can see these guys are going back and forth, and hopefully this is leading towards a beef set. That's the end goal, but we'll see if, you know, both of these guys, Joe Crush wants to do it, but Droopy so far seems to be dodging. I was just in Joe Crush stream asking him how he feels, you know, what's going on, and he said the guy's dodging me. So we'll see. Joe Crush responds to the tweet though and says, first off, I'm fully employed right now, so stop using that excuse because you got enough already. Secondly, when I went to Florida Florida and won y'all's regional. You told me you barely made it because you're broke and you couldn't get a reliable car. So you still broke with 2 jobs. And lastly, if you want to keep bringing up my relationship, you must be interested in what what. So they're really going at it. And you can see here Joe Crush is showing off his placement here where he is in grand finals and he win, right? Defeats King Ray Jr. So there's the receipts. And then he also shows what I believe to be his car. Nice car. And then he says, I barely even play this game anymore and I'm still better than you. And you showed your character is easy AF. He's talking about Kazuya. This is the difference with God 1 players. God 1 players out here talking about Kazuya is easy. And we having excuses. I was hungover from going out last night. That first game I hit the clip and was talking to a woman afterwards, but you can't use that excuse as an incel bum. Joe Crush says, you still posting about me at 1 a.m. bro. No way you that hungry for some of me. And don't forget you were a fan at first. And also since we're going back that far, how long you gotta work them 2 jobs to make what I won in that 1 tourney? Better get some sleep soon. Droopy says, this is like crazy beef. They're going at it neck and neck. Hungry for what? Yeah, that's my cue to end the beef right here. I know you still mad. You got beat in TNS by a casual. That's where this all begun after all. You and I both know you asked for the photo. That's you holding your phone camera, by the way. I would never ever be a fan, be for real. I don't know what type of clothes, LG freak Diddy issues you got going on, but keep that over there, my guy. You're the type to let imaginary girl what? I bet if I ask, wait, what? He's getting crazy. Mental health issues. Yeah, he's popping off. These guys are going at it. This is the last thing I'll say about it. Pull up to my original like I did yours and let's do $1,000 first to 10 offline. You'll pull up and put your money where your mouth is if you're not scared. This is what I was interested in. The $1,000 money match. You know, this is like a moonsault layer level of confidence, but what Joe Crush has that the moonsault doesn't have is skill, a whole lot of it. I'm not too familiar with Droopy and what he's capable of, but I know Joe Crush is a very talented player and he's won a couple of TNS tournaments, a couple of normal tournaments, and I mean, if he's putting up 1,000, he must be really confident. Droopy has not responded, but he did post this image. This image was about 10 or so hours after the tweet from Joe Crush, and people were wondering if he is plotting or scheming to accept and to, like, you know, do it, or if he's just dodging, you know. You guys, what do you guys think about this? There's been so many beef sets going on, so much money being thrown around. I see some people who are like disgusted by all the beef sets and they think it's like very toxic, and it's like, I think Tekken needs this kind of energy though. As long as the 2 parties aren't like, you know, getting violent or physical or anything, it's amazing, and it could do a lot in terms of like tournament views or player engagement. I know there's a lot of people who's been seeing the beef sets going on, like with Mike Hollow's stream, with what I've been doing with D, and they've been inspired themselves to play some Tekken, and that's what it's really all about, right? For everyone who's sitting back and watching, this is just something that will keep them engaged when the game itself is like horribly unbalanced.